Hello, my dear student, class 11. Now, today I'm going to start a evaluation that Thank You, Ma'am, written by Langston Hughes. So, it's a normal process to know about the title and the writer. The author Langston Hughes, the full name is Jamie Marker Langston Hughes. You can call it Jamie Marshall, Langston, Langton, or Langston Hughes. Born in 1902, was a famous writer and a well-known as a social activist from America. He was really interested in the revival of African folk culture because on that time in 1930, when this story actually published, Thank You, Ma'am, there was a huge problem in whole America about the racism. বর্ণবিদ্বেষ, সেই বর্ণবিদ্বেষের বিরুদ্ধে one kinds of protest. He had written a lot of stories and he shows the people that what is the humanity, how a man can change once with his or her great efforts. So through his writings he had wants to show the real picture of America on that time. Now his well-known stories are The Weary Blues, Not Without Laughter, The Way of White Folks, Thank You, Ma'am. It is also in 1930. Langston Hughes, no doubt, his youth actually passed with a lot of crisscrossing, lot of struggles. Due to his parents' separations, he was always faced the problems to brought up properly. At the age of 12 years, his parents permanently separated and he traveled with his mother. And his mother was quite such a problem to find the income for nurturing the family properly. So with a lot of problems, with a lot of lot of hurdles Langston Hughes faced during his study period, though he has completed his study in high school Lincoln and graduated from Cleveland's of Central High School 1920. Initial stage, he had written so many poetries about the racism, prejudices, isolation, and after all, he was going to describe about the problem of black and blues in whole America as well as in the whole world. He traveled throughout the Europe, Russia, and the West Indies just to collect the knowledge about the social customs and career of the people. His writings also based on historical idea and critics. This great man was died in 1967 and kept a lot of memory in the human of the America and all peoples in the world. So Thank You, Ma'am actually shows us a male Afro-American writer who shows that Langston Hughes, here actually a character that names is Lulabets Washington Jones, who uh, apply her love and affection and prove that it is the highest part of humanism. So what is the story here? The story is about the sympathy shown by an older Roman to a young urchin who tried to steal her pocketbook, money bag. Young urchin, it's a young one, without knowing the right and wrong. The young boy was eager to acknowledge the lenity shown to him by her, but he got no more chance to do that beyond a brief thank you. Ultimately, he got changed with the knowing of, with the instruction of right and wrong. So this story, Langston Hughes as a actually described Mr. Lulabets Washington Jones, a tough, independent woman, black woman, who was returning from the work. On the way, a boy Roser, who doesn't know about the right, wrong, and wanted to fulfill his wish. He tried his level best to snatch the pocketbook of Lulabets Washington Jones, but unfortunately, Lulabets Washington Jones caught him with red-handed and dragged him to her house. There, the story actually get a new twist. Here, the woman actually provide him all kinds of facilities like a mother, and the boy explained what's the problems actually he faced in his life, and that's why he was coming in this way. So Lulabets Washington Jones, who realized the case, acknowledged the matter, and tried her level best to provide him the all kinds of facilities and teach him what is right and what is wrong. She also explains about her youth, and desire is not a bad, aim is not a bad, dream is not a bad, but you have to fulfill it in the right way. So the boy realized the truth of life, and ultimately he thanked Miss Lulabets Washington Jones for the great work what his parents actually do. In this way, the story has completed with a proper meaning, proper acknowledgement that thank you, man. Means the boy Roser thanks Miss Lulabets Washington Jones for her great job as like a mother. So the title is also appropriate. Now, what is the criticisms of the story? Actually, I'm trying to describe all this about the writer, summary of the story, significance of the title, criticism of the story. Now, fourth point is, now before going to discuss about the story, I'm just trying to give you the descriptions about the criticism of the story. And I'm giving you three questions here. Do you believe in criticism? What is humanity? How do a boy or a person turn into an antisocial activity? How? What is the possibility? What is the actual reality of the society that turn a boy to be a good one? In this story, if you study hardly, you will see at the end that the fact is society is a real culprit to make a man towards the negatives, to be an antisocial. So, Roser is a good boy, no doubt, but no one has surround him just to rectify his error of life. It is the duty of our society that a boy must do wrong, but guide him properly and show him what is the future of the life. So in that way, a black American woman trying her level best to make herself independent in the society, and also shows that how to make independent others in the society. Racism is casteism. Racism is a really negatives of the society. It failed us towards the back, towards the past of our life. It's never been developed you. So all need the freedom, liberty, and independence. Only these three things will provide the society in a perfect way, a perfect learning. Now come to the story. Essence of the story. What is this? Before going to this, what should be learned properly? Parse, slang, tag, a full blast, sidewalk, right square, rattled, stoop, past, frail, willow, bothering, and few words are there. I think these are a while, popped out, struggle, Hump Nelson, kitchenette, and rumors. Now I'm trying to do that. She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but hammer and nails. She was working in a hotel beauty shop. So she had everything in his bag for doing this job. It had a long strap and she carried it slung across her shoulders. It was about 11 o'clock at night and she was walking alone when a boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch her purse. It's a full of dramatized. In this story, you will get a good drama. The woman, Lilibet Washington Jones, was coming from his hotel beauty shop after working in a late night, and her bag was full of the different kinds of tools for her work, and she carried a sling across her shoulders. It was hanging a strap with a long strap in his shoulder. A boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch the purse, just thinking there is a hole of money. The strap broke with the single tug. It's a single tug, highest pulling. It's a sudden strong pulling from the behind, but it will snatch her purse. The strap broke with the single tug. The boy gave it from behind, but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him a loose and balance. So instead of taking off full blast as he had hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk and his legs flew out. What is the matter? The heavy boy, the purse is heavy, the boy is light. So when he pulled the bag properly, in a sudden struck, it was unfortunately the boy was imbalanced, lose his balance, and fall down on the roads due to the difference of weight. So the boy was on the sidewalk, on the straight road, footpath, and few of his legs are on the upwards. The large woman simply turned around, it kicked him right square, straightway, Aklathi. The large woman simply turned around and kicked him, Aklathi Marlow, in the right square in his blue jeans seat at the back. Then she reached down, picked up the boy off his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. And opened the collar, shirt front, and shook him till second him. After that, the woman said, "Pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it here." She still held him, but she bent down enough to permit him to stoop and picked him up her purse. Then she said, "Now, aren't you ashamed of yourself?" So that great woman ordered him to pick up the purse and bend down as much as possible to collect it, and finally asked him whether he was not ashamed of his job. Firmly gripped by his shirt front, the boy said, "Yes, ma'am." The woman was actually tightly caught his hands and asked him all these questions. The boy answered very positively, "Yes, I am very ashamed for this misdeeds." The woman said, "What did you want to do it for?" So the woman asked him why he had actually snatched the pocket purse. What is the purpose of this snatching? The boy said, "I didn't aim to." She said, "You are lie." The boy actually answered that he had no dream at all. He had no at all any plan. The woman was experienced one. That's why she noticed that he was wrongly expressed. Whole kotha bolche se. But that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped, turned, and looked, and some stood watching. It's normal happening on the pavements that when something is going to be happen, someone is watching, someone is passing away. It's normal happening. Ekhano ghotche. If I turn you loose, will you run? Asked the woman. The woman asked very simply whether if she loosed him, he would go away. So the boy said simply, "Yes, ma'am." Positively, "Yes, ma'am. If you loosen me, I will go." "Then I will not turn you loose," said the woman. She didn't release him. "I'm very sorry." "Lady, I'm sorry," whispered the boy. When the woman now didn't want to loosen the boy exclaimed properly, "Yes, if you are not loosening me, I will not go. I'm sorry about my job. And your face is dirty. I got a great mind to wash your face for you." And now the woman realized the case and tried to understand why the boy actually had done these kinds of misdeeds on the roads. And ultimately she decided that yes, he needs the neat and clean face. He needs the proper guide. Aren't you got nobody who tell you to wash your face? Nobody? Nobody has your home to clean your face, to provide you the proper guideline about the cleanliness? "No, ma'am," said the boy. The boy answered very positively, "Yeah, no, ma'am, I have not at all anyone to provide me, to give me the proper guideline." "Then it will get washed this evening," said the large woman, starting up the street, dragging the frightened boy behind her. He looked as if he were 14 or 15, frail and willow wild in tennis shoes and blue jeans. This is the appearance of the boy, whom Lolabet washing Jones pulled and dragged, tante niye jacchilo towards his home just to give him proper freshness, proper cleanliness. He was wearing a blue jeans. Age was near about 14 or 15. Willow wild, it's very hard and strong. So this is the proper appearance of the boy. The woman said, "You ought to be my son. I would teach you right from wrong. Best I can do right now is to wash your face. Are you hungry?" Now the woman behaved with him as like an woman, as like a mother. So she told him, if I were your mother, I will teach you what is the right and what is wrong, how to turn you from this wrong to right. And let's now, your important is to be clean yourself properly. Let's go with me. And I think you are very hungry. No, ma'am," said the big dragging boy. "I just want you to turn me loose. Okay, please loosen me. I'm not going anywhere." "Was I bothering you when I turned that corner?" asked the woman. "Was I bothering you when I had turned the corner?" asked the woman. The woman asked very positively whether she had teasing him, so whether she had dishonored him after turning him towards the corner. "No, ma'am, not at all. But you put yourself in a contact with me," said the woman. "If you think that contact is not going to last a while, you got another thought coming. When I get through with you, sir. You are going, remember Mrs. Lovitz Washington Jones. So this is very critical situations, at the moment, the woman actually giving him the proper idea that yes, if you have any problems, you just contact with me and just try to ask me. Remember my name. My name is Mrs. Lulovitz Washington Jones. And whether you will any problem, whether you face any problems, just call me. I will suggest you the proper guideline. That's all, my dear student. I have given this much. এখান পর্যন্ত আমি কিন্তু আজকে শেষ করলাম. Next day from there I will complete this lesson. মূলত এই চারটে প্রশ্ন তোমরা একটু করবে এগুলো, আর একটা সামারি তোমরা লেখার চেষ্টা করবে. মেন হচ্ছে ইনভার্টেড কমা যে সেন্টেন্সগুলো আছে সেগুলোকে ন্যারেট করার চেষ্টা করবে, ন্যারেশন চেঞ্জ, অ্যান্ড একটা সামারি লিখবে. ন্যারেশন চেঞ্জগুলো করবে, ডাইরেক্ট এবং ইনডাইরেক্ট করবে. আর এখান থেকে তোমরা আমি তিনটে কোশ্চেন দিচ্ছি, সেটা লেখো. হোয়াট ইজ দ্য নেম অফ দ্য বয়, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য নেম অফ দ্য ওম্যান, what is the appearance of the boy, where from the woman actually coming, what is the time when the boy attacked the woman, how did the woman take the boy towards our home on the way of road, what was the boy realize, what did the boy actually think about the woman's character now. That's all, my dear friend. I think you will do all these and send me to my WhatsApp number 790 Thank you very much. এরপর আমি কমপ্লিট করার পর 12 সিরিজ একটা করে বের করব, যেটা আমরা তোমাদের এইচএস পরীক্ষার আগে আমি আশা করি সেপ্টেম্বরের ফার্স্ট উইক থেকে বের করব. এটা এ সিরিজ ফর এইচএস, আর মাধ্যমিক সিরিজ তো চলছেই, এটাও তোমাদের বন্ধুদের বলবে, ছোটো ছোটো ভাইরা আছে. থ্যাংক ইউ ফর ওয়াচিং দিস চ্যানেল.